Hello, are you able to hear me? Is my voice okay? Yeah, okay. I'm really sorry for being late. Actually, they are upgrading the system internet in my area. So, no internet was working. Okay, it's fine now. I'll extend the class for 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, as 20 minutes has been wasted. Okay, so Fahad, Deepak Shankar, Mohammed Ibrahim, Anas Rahman, Munnu, and Jobi. How are you? Yeah, so I guess there's many new attendees in class today, like Akshata, Anas, Mohammed, Deepak Shankar, right? I'm doing well. I think there are many new attendees in class today. Who all are joining this class for the first time? Who all are attending this class for the first time? Please let me know your names. Who all are attending this class for the first time? I guess Deepak Shankar, this is your first class, right? Mohammed Ibrahim, this is your first class. Anas Rahman, this is your first class, right? Okay, so welcome to the class. And if you have any issues, you can raise your hands or post your queries in the chat box. Okay, Mohammed. I have never seen you before. I don't remember. Okay, fine. And please be regular in class because otherwise your grades will be affected. Okay. And if you're not able to follow anything at any point of time, then you can ask me in the chat box itself. Okay. And every month I give 7 to 8 assignments to all the students. It is a kind of must do for the student. Okay, they are being graded for the same. It has already been sent to the coordinator. You can ask the coordinator for the same. Fine. And I hope others are doing those assignments. Munnu, are you doing those assignments? Munnu, Fahad, are you solving the assignments or not? Please yeah, okay, fine. Now, so that day we were doing, emotional intelligence. So let's continue with the same. Fine. Now, can you see the whiteboard properly? Everyone out there? Okay. So let's talk about emotional intelligence. Every business person knows a story about highly intelligent, highly skilled executive who was promoted into a leadership position only to fail at the job. And they also know a story about someone with solid but not extraordinary intellectual activities and technical skills who was promoted. So sometimes, very, very high skilled people and who are highly intelligent, they don't fit into an appropriate position, and people who are just not extraordinary, just they have solid background and not as intellectual and technical as others, they get promoted, right? All of us have seen, all of us have might have experienced that. All of us have experienced that thing, earlier on year round, right? This does happens, right? That sometimes people who are extraordinary, they don't they are not able to qualify for the position, and the people who are just up to the mark, not very good, they qualify for the same. So what could be the reason for the same? Such anecdotes support the widespread belief that identifying individuals with the right stuff to be leaders is more art than a science. So see, every position needs specific kind of individuals, right? And if so choosing those kind of individuals who will fit it appropriately into a particular position, this is more of a art than being a science, right? And it's not like all the people who will fit for a particular position will work in the similar manner, right? The way they work, their nature, their attitude, it does differs, right? Right, everyone? And see, you have to be an active participant in the class, otherwise, you are also being graded for the same. So if some people are staying mum, they have just joined the class and they are roaming around here and there and they're not paying heed to what I'm saying. See, your activities in the class, is being calculated when it comes to grades. So the way you behave in class, obviously, it affects your grades. So do ask questions. Do inquire about things and say yes or no when something is being asked to you. Fine. Don't stay mum. It will give me an impression that you are not following what I'm teaching. Okay. Now, after all, okay, such anecdote supports the widespread belief that identifying individuals. Please maintain, like good attitude towards the teacher. She is teaching you. You are not here to stay, mom, right? You are here to learn. So, if I'm asking you something, you should answer it, right? If you are not answering, what kind of impression is it going to give me? That you are not following me. You are just, you have joined the class for the sake of joining it. So it's not like this. Do ask me questions. You can ask me questions related to subject, even if it is not related to the topic, but if it is related to the subject, then you can ask me. Fine. Now, after all, the personal style of super leaders vary. Some leaders are subdued and analytical. Others shout their manifestos from the mountaintops. So some people, they are very good at work. Okay, but they will just speak. They won't speak much. They'll just do their work. They will do what they need to do, but they won't speak much. But there are other people who are very good at work, but they will shout their manifestos from the mountaintops. Everybody will know that okay, they are working in this direction. They are here as far as their job role is considered. Fine. And just as important, different situation calls for different types of leadership. So it's not like you have to behave in the similar manner being a leader in every situation, right? In every situation, that means it means that every situation demands a different kind of leadership, right? Clear? Is this much clear to everyone? Shall we proceed ahead? Okay. Deepak Shankar, is this your first class? Please respond in the chat box. Now, I have found, however, that the most effective leaders are alike in one crucial way. Though they all have a high degree of what has to come to be known as emotional intelligence. So, see, leaders do vary. Okay, they do vary in terms of qualities and the way they behave. Okay, but one thing is there in every one of them, that most of the leaders who are famous or who are considered to be very good ones, they have got high degree of emotional intelligence. It's not like that IQ and technical skills are irrelevant. So having high degree of emotional intelligence does not approve you to be a good leader. It's not like if you just have high levels of emotional intelligence, IQ and technical skills don't play any role in being a good leader. It's not like this. Okay? They do matter, but mainly as threshold capabilities, that is, they are entry level requirement for executive positions. So in order to be a good leader, you need to have all emotional intelligence, IQ and technical skills. But yeah, when it comes to IQ and technical skills, they are just entry level requirements. Fine? Yes. Now, but my research along with the other recent studies clearly shows that emotional intelligence is the sine qua non of leadership. What is the sine qua non of leadership? Without it, a person can have the best training in the world, an indecisive, analytical mind, and endless supply of smart ideas, but he still won't make a good leader. So see, if you are not having this emotional intelligence, you are very intelligent, okay, you have got high levels of IQ, you are technically very very sound, but if you don't have this so-called emotional intelligence, then even though you have the best training in the world, even though you might have an analytical mind, you can have endless supply of smart ideas, but still you won't be a good leader without an emotional intelligence, although you have all these qualities in bulk. Fine? Yes, correct. In the course of past years, my colleague and I have focused on how emotional intelligence operates at work. So why is it necessary? What role does it play when it comes to work? This is what we are going to study here. Fine? Is it clear, everyone? Is the concept of, are you following the concept of emotional intelligence? Yes or no? Akshata, how about you? Joby, Akshata, Anas? Now, In the course of past years, my colleagues and I have focused on how emotional intelligence operates at work. We have examined the relationship between emotional intelligence and effective performance, especially in leaders. So, in this paragraph, we are going to study the relationship between effective performance when it comes to leaders and emotional intelligence. And we have observed how emotional intelligence show itself on the job. Okay, how can you tell if someone has high emotional intelligence? So how to judge? There are ways by which we can judge whether the person, there are some tests by which we can judge whether the person has high intelligence or IQ or not, but there are also ways through which we can judge whether the person has high emotional intelligence or not. Okay, for example, how to recognize it in yourself. So sometimes you must be feeling, now you're studying about it, you know the concept of emotional intelligence. So you might be wondering that how to know that whether I have that so-called emotional intelligence thing or not, right? So how will you recognize that emotional intelligence level in yourself, right? In the following pages, we will explore these questions, taking each of the components of emotional intelligence, that is self-awareness. Okay, so the components which make up the emotional intelligence are self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skill in turn. So what is this empathy? Self-awareness. Do you know what self-awareness is? What is self-awareness? How will you define self-awareness? Please let me know in the chat box. What is the definition for how will you define self-awareness in your own terms? See, if I have got self-awareness, I can decide how I am different from others. Right? No two human beings are same, not even twins. Okay, they are different in some manner. So if I have got self-awareness, I can, decide how I am different from others. Fine. Self-regulation. Now, what is self-regulation? See, what is self-regulation? Does anyone knows that? What is self-regulation? What is the definition? Okay, I will show you what self-regulation is. Now, so I'm going to give you one video link. Okay, it will teach you the concept of yes, self-regulation. Self-regulation. Can you please click on the link which has been given to you? Can you just try to play that? Can you please click the link which I have given you in the chat box? Just click on the YouTube link which has been given to you. This is on self-regulation. Can you please play it at your end? Please play it at your end. No, both are different. Just click on the YouTube one, Deepak. Yeah. Please play it, and once you are done with it, just let me know. And tomorrow, okay, it's okay. Let others play it, and once they will be done with the same, I'll teach you the concept of empathy, what empathy is. So just play it, and once you're done with it, just let me know. Are you done with it? Are you done with it? Please let me know in the chat box. Okay, how about others? Fahad, Anas, Munnu, are you done with it? Okay, now see, what is empathy? So all these are ingredients of emotional intelligence. Self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy. Empathy is like, putting yourself into others' shoes and then viewing the situation. Okay, like empathy is the experience of understanding another's feeling by keeping yourself at their place. Right? Clear? So see, if I am going through some situation and if you judge me from my own perspective, then that would be empathy. Fine? So let me put the definition of empathy in the chat box itself. And it's empathy. How we pronounce this word? Empathy. How do we pronounce it? Empathy. And click, in order to get a clear understanding of what empathy is, just click on the YouTube link which I have given you recently in the chat box. Just click on that. Empathy. So we pronounce this word which is written in the chat box as sympathy. So similarly we pronounce this one as empathy. Click on the link which is there in the chat box and just view it. Are you done with it? Please watch it properly. And then for tomorrow we are going to have a test because tomorrow is Saturday. So I'll be conducting a test. Okay, but tomorrow I'm going to design a different kind of paper. Okay, not the same kind as we do every, like week. Fine. So tomorrow I would try to design something new out of the league. Or let's not have a test tomorrow because so many, I think there are less number of people in class today, so they will not get the notification for this. So we'll conduct it on Monday. Are you done with the video? Everyone out there? Fahad, Deepak, Anas, Munnu, Mohammed, Ibrahim. Sometimes, if there is any internet issue at my end, then I may get late, okay? But I never get absent without notification, okay? If I won't take a class, I give the leave application, few days back, a few days before, okay? And you will get the email for the same. So don't leave the class, okay? Just wait for a few minutes. I might join a bit late due to internet issues, otherwise I am always on time, fine? So few people who have joined earlier, I can see the chat history. They have left the class because they thought the teacher won't be coming, but that is not the case, and that is not applicable in my case. I never get absent, okay, without notification. And if I am late, internet could be the reason. Fine. So don't leave the class. Just be there for a few 15 to 20 minutes. I even if I'm joining it, I will join it for sure. If I have not sent any email, if you have not got any email for the same beforehand. Fine. Okay. Now, so empathy is viewing the situation from other people's perspective by keeping yourself in their position. Okay. And social skill in turn. Other researchers have confirmed that emotional intelligence not only distinguishes outstanding leaders but can also be linked to strong performance. So if you have got high emotional intelligence, that is self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, okay, then obviously these things, ingredients of, you might see when you read this word emotional intelligence, you might not get the clear idea of what it is exactly. But when once you look over the ingredients, you can easily make it out by reading the ingredients that okay, if I have these things, I will be a great leader. I will be a strong performer, right? Because see, it's very simple. It's a common sense and logic. That's self-awareness. That means if I am aware of myself, I will know my shortcomings. I will know my positive points, right? So in that case, I will work on my shortcomings, and I can do well in those areas, and I can work harder in my positive areas, and this is how I can be a strong leader, right? And if I have got that capability of motivating myself and others, then obviously I'm a great leader. I'll be a great leader, right? Motivation can make you do things, right? Empathy is like if I can understand other people's perspective, I can lead a team properly, right? I can be a good leader, right? Because they will value that thing, right? For example, empathy. Let me give you today's scenario. What happened in today's class? I got late, okay, because I was having internet issues. So you were showing empathy to me. For those people who are still there in the class, they might have wondered that okay, she's not here. She's always regular. She never gets absent. Internet could be the reason. So you people were there in the class, although few of you left. Few of the students left. So that's why we are having a class now, because you were showing empathy to me, right? Right? By keeping yourself in my shoes, that okay, she might be not here because she might be having some issues. Otherwise, she never gets absent without notification, right? So this is what empathy is. So now you have valued me, right? You have valued my problem. So I will be thankful to you that okay, these people were still waiting for me. So these are like nice people. They understand my situation. They take me as a human being, even because teacher is also a human being, right? So if you are having, if you know, once we study about the ingredients of emotional intelligence, it gives us the clear picture of why we need to have it, right? Once we if I just keep on taking the name, emotional intelligence, we will never get the clear idea about it, right? But once we segregate it into ingredients which make it up, this complex world, then we can understand why is it necessary, right? And how it helps us in being a great leader, right? In a 1996 study, of course, you have no, that I cannot make out. See, I what I saw in you was empathy today. Other things I'm not aware of. So how can I say? See, in order to have high levels of emotional intelligence, you need to have all these qualities. So if you're having one of it, that doesn't prove that you are you are highly emotional. You are emotionally intelligent. Fine. Whether you have self-awareness or not, that you can decide, right? I cannot, because I've never met you. I have never dealt with you, in person. So I cannot decide that. In a 1996 study of a global food and beverage company, it was found that when senior managers had a critical mass of emotional intelligence capabilities, their division outperformed yearly earning goals by 20%. Meanwhile, division leaders without that critical mass underperformed. So based on the study, they might have done some survey. Those managers who were having high emotional intelligence, they have outperformed their previous performance, and those who were having less critical mass, less emotional intelligence, they have underperformed. Fine. The findings, interestingly, held as true in the company's US divisions as in divisions in Asia and Europe. And this findings, whatever they have found based on the study, okay, this was not only applicable to people in USA division of the same company, but it was also applicable to the employees who were working in the Asian and European division of the same country. I mean, same company. Fine. In short, the numbers are beginning to tell us a persuasive story about the link between a company. So a company who is able to find out candidates who are having high emotional intelligence, yeah, they will perform better as compared to other companies. Fine. And just as important, research is also demonstrating that people can, if they take the right approach, develop their, and see, if it's not like people are born with born emotionally intelligent. You can develop that, right? And it's not like those people who, if I am, highly emotionally intelligent now, I will be like that all through my life. It's not like that. I have to fuel myself for the same, right? I have to motivate myself. See, sometimes, people, I might have self-awareness now. Okay. But if I will stop weighing the importance of that, I will lose that capability of being self-aware, right? Those people who get, extraordinarily, egoistic, they lose this capability of being self-aware. They never do introspection, right? So it's not like if I am having it now, I will have it tomorrow as well. I have to continuously work in that direction so that I can retain this, right? See, motivation level gets low with age, and the more work you are having on head, the more workload you are having on head, the less motivation you will feel, the less motivated you will feel, right? So see, you have to continuously work in all these directions to keep yourself emotionally intelligent, right? Now, and if you're not having it, then of course you can develop it by like developing this self-awareness thing, motivating yourself continuously. Nobody will come and motivate you for anything. You have to be a self-motivator, right? You have to show empathy towards others, because a time will come in your life when you will need this attitude from others, right? Empathy. So if you are showing it to them, then only they are going to show it to you. Yes, yes. Now, self-awareness. Let's elaborate on this self-awareness thing. Self-awareness is the first component of emotional intelligence. Self-awareness means having a deep understanding of one's emotions. So it's not like if you know what is your strength and what is your weakness, you are aware of yourself. It's not like this. Even self-awareness has got certain ingredients. Okay. So you need to have the deep understanding of your own emotions, your strengths, your weaknesses, your needs and drives. Right? People with strong self-awareness are neither overly critical nor unrealistic, hopeful. See, when it comes to motivating yourself, even in the situation, see, how you can motivate yourself. This is a very, very good question. You can only, every day when you get up, start a day on a new note. Don't hold grudges for anything. It might be possible that I might have failed in the last examination, but instead of retaining the anger and frustration, that I will, if you retain the frustration, okay, that last task which you did was a failure. Never compare, never compare. Because if you're going to compare, see, everyone has their own capabilities, they have their own qualities. So why you need to compare? Why you need to compare? Whatever you are doing, just do it with your heart, put in your best efforts, that's all. Don't focus on results, because if you're, some people, they always focus on results, and if they don't get the same, they get critical about themselves and they are not able to achieve anything, right? Don't compare, don't rate other people's work, just focus on yourself. And when it, yes, so be confident whatever you're doing, and don't retain any grudges. Whatever you did past last time, that is a gone by story. See, even if you have failed last time, you cannot change it by thinking it over and over again, by thinking over it again and again, by replaying it in your mind over and over again. You are affecting your motivational levels, you are affecting your confidence levels. It will go down, right? So don't think about the past failures. Whatever has happened, don't repeat that same mistakes again. That's it. No, comparison will also lead to low levels of self-confidence. That okay, he has achieved 90% marks and I have just achieved 85%. That feeling will come. I am not as good as him. So jealousy will develop, and most of the times, most of your energy you will, like we can say, most of your energy you will waste that in that jealousy thing. So you won't achieve anything. So don't compare. The best way by which you can motivate yourself is to start your day on a fresh note. Okay, you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses. Okay, so work continuously, work in a particular direction. That's it. Do your best and leave the rest. Yes. Clear? Is it clear? Is it clear, Fahad? You were asking me something. So see, if I have got, if I know, if I'm aware of myself, then I will never be critical. Okay? On so I will never get critical about things, overly critical. Sometimes we criticize something like anything, and sometimes people are unrealistically hopeful. Unrealistically hopeful means they hope beyond a hope, right? So that is not good. Rather, they are honest with themselves and with others. So see, if I have got this attitude of self-awareness, okay, I will be honest with myself. Sometimes, I know that I cannot achieve something, but still I will fake myself that I can do it. So this is like cheating your own self, and you won't get anything by cheating yourself. So if you have got this capability, if you are aware of yourself, you will never cheat yourself. You will be honest with yourself. Most of the times, why people fail is this. The reason why people fail most of the times is this, that they are not honest with themselves. They cheat themselves, right? Right? Just to satisfy their ego, right? Am I correct or not? Please let me know in the chat box. See, it depends from person to person. So never cheat yourself. If you have not developed this quality of being aware, introspection, do introspection every day. Otherwise, you won't be able to stay honest with yourself, right? People who have high degree of self-awareness recognize how their feelings affect them, other people, and their job performance. So if I have got this self-awareness thing, I will know, what kind of feelings will be produced in me and how it is going to affect my work, right? Thus, a self-aware person who knows that tight deadlines bring out the worst in his plans, his time carefully, and gets his work done well in advance. So sometimes, if I have got that, I know. Sometimes, people know that, okay, if I will work under tight deadlines, some people, they do their studies at the last minute, while others, if you will ask them to do the same, they will fail for sure. So some people, they study for the entire year and they perform well in examinations. There are other people who study on the last day and they also perform well. So it depends from person to person. But if I'm aware of myself that okay, if I won't study for the entire year and if everything will get piled up, I won't be able to perform well. So let me study for the entire year. So this proves that I am a self-aware person and I know my shortcomings. I know what is going to affect my performance. So I'm going to plan accordingly, right? Another person with high self-awareness will be able to work with a demanding client. She will understand the client's impact on her moods and the deeper reasons for her frustration. Their trivial demands take us away from the real work that needs to be done, she might explain. And she will go one step further and turn her anger into something constructive. And some people, they are short tempered, right? So, if I'm aware of this thing that I'm short tempered, then only I can work on it and I can rectify that, right? So that is the thing. If you're self-aware, if you have got the awareness about yourself, you will never cheat on yourself. You know what your emotions are, what can motivate you, okay, what can make you feel well, okay, what can make you feel frustrated. So you will plan things accordingly in your life, and there won't be any confusion, right? Self-awareness extends to a person's understanding of his or her values and goals. Someone who is highly self-aware knows where he is headed and why. For example, he will be able to be firm in turning down a job offer that is tempting financially but does not fit with his principles or long-term goals. Sometimes you are being offered a job which is highly paying, but you know that you will have to sacrifice your goals and values to achieve that. So you will never, you will never accept that, because later on it will frustrate you and you will leave it. So why to join it, right? Clear? Is it clear, everyone? Munu, how about you? Okay. So are you enjoying this topic? Are you enjoying this topic? I need to know the truth. Don't sugarcoat things. Just let me know what you feel exactly about the topic. You can write it as you feel. That's it. Because today we are doing something related to introspection, self-awareness. So I just need to know your serious views about it. Okay. I have another topic of the similar kind, which is, I'll tell you. This is emotional intelligence, and there is magnificent failure. We are going to do that tomorrow. Okay, what if I am aware about my strength and I cannot go because of situations? See, if you are aware of your strength, okay, and still, if you are self-aware, then you can decide, of course. You have to take some decision. You have to go with the situation. You cannot, escape out. So you have to do it. So it's better that you are self-aware so that you can fight with every situation, because life is so unpredictable. Now, a person who lacks self-awareness is apt to make decisions that bring on inner turmoil by treating on buried values. The money looked good, so I signed on. Someone might say 2 years into a job, but the work means so little to me that I am constantly bored. So sometimes, if I'm not having self-awareness, that so see, sometimes it's like some people who are not aware of anything, they might get greedy with the offer, right? Is my voice audible now? Okay. So sometimes, if I'm not having that self awareness, I might flow with the situation. I might go with the flow, which might not be in my favor, right? I might realize that later on, right? So if I am self-aware, I have got that attitude of being self-aware, then I will never devise my values. I will take decisions which is appropriate for myself, right? From each and every side, right? So if you're not having that quality of self-awareness, then in that case you might accept a job which is highly paying, but it might not saturate you. So you might start feeling bored. And if you get bored with something, you can never motivate yourself for the same, right? Now, how can one recognize self-awareness? First and foremost, it shows itself as candor. What is candor? Candor or candor? How do we pronounce it? How do we pronounce this word, and what is the meaning of this word? Candor or candor, or there is another way of pronouncing it. Please let me know in the chat box. Candor, candor. It's candor. Candor is like being frank, being frank. And let me tell you how we pronounce it. It's like being frank, okay? The quality of being frank. Now, click on the link which is there in the chat box, and you need to click on the speaker icon. You'll get to know the pronunciation for the same. So it's candor, fine? And it means the state of being honest, the quality of being honest. Please click on the link. There you'll get a speaker icon. Click on that and you'll get to know the pronunciation for the same. Please do the same. Okay. How about others? Okay, fine. Great. Candor. Okay. First and foremost, it shows itself as candor and ability to assess oneself realistically. So sometimes we pretend what we are not in front of others. So once you assess yourself realistically, okay, then that is the first step towards self-awareness. People with high self-awareness are able to speak accurately and openly, although they not necessarily effusively or confessionally about their information, emotions, and the impact they have on their work. For instance, one manager I know okay was skeptical about a new personal shopper service that her company, a major department store chain, was about to introduce. What is like being skeptical? What is meant by being skeptical? Not sure. Yeah, half sure. Correct. Without prompting from her team or her boss, she offered them an explanation. It's hard for me to get behind the rollout of this service, she admitted, because I really wanted to run the project, but I wasn't selected. Bear with me while I deal with that. The manager did indeed examine her feelings. A week later, she was supporting the project fully. Such self-knowledge often shows itself in the hiring process. Ask a candidate to describe a time he got carried away by his feelings and did something he later regretted. Self-awareness candidates will be frank in admitting to failure. So if see those people, you might have seen some people who they are very very blunt. They will speak on your mouth. So see, it's not like they mean to hurt you. Okay, it means that they're self-aware. And even if you some people they keep their life like an open book, that okay, I used to take drugs, few years back I got into the bad company, but now I'm okay, fine. So they have got self-awareness, so they are not ashamed of something, fine. Is it clear? You might have noticed or experienced such kind of people all around you, right? And will often tell their tales with a smile. Okay. So see, mistakes are the integral part of life. You cannot rule out the possibility of making a mistake, right? Anyone can make it. You can make it. I can make it. But you should not hesitate in accepting the same, and you should not do it again. That's all. Clear? Okay. Self-aware. Okay. One of the hallmarks of self-awareness is a self-depreciating sense of humor. Now, self-awareness can also be identified during performance reviews. Self-aware people know and are comfortable talking about their limitations and strengths, and they often demonstrate a thirst for constructive criticism. Criticism. What is constructive criticism? So, criticizing someone, okay, which can, develop positivity in them, that is constructive criticism. Criticism. Okay. If I criticize you for something, which can bring positivity in you, which can help you in, and sometimes, people criticize you for no reason. But if I'm criticizing you and I have got the reasons for the same, okay, so that you can improve yourself, then that would be a positive criticism, right? For example, now let's talk about the concept of constructive criticism, how we can give that. Yeah, criticism is a better teacher. Can you please click on the link which is there in the chat box to get the clear concept of what constructive criticism is? Please click on the link which is there in the chat box. Okay, fine. Others, please look at the video. And Deepak, Anas, and Mohammed, kindly contact the coordinator for the assignments for English. Okay. So you need to finish it before deadline, and you need to send it to the coordinator. She is going to send it to me so that I can check it and grade you for the same. Others already know about it. Since you are new in class, so I just wanted you to know about it. Yes, 7 assignments altogether. So every month you'll getting 8 assignments for English. Yeah. So just solve it and send the the answers to the coordinator, the solved assignment to the coordinator, and she's going to send it to me. And just make sure you finish all the assignments before deadline. Deadline is already mentioned in each and every assignment. Deadline is not same for all the assignments. It is different for each and every assignment. Fine. So are you done with the video? Okay. So once you're done with it, just let me know. Are you done with it? Hi Joe, how are you? Okay, fine, fine. Hi Joe, how are you? You have joined the class very late. It's about to finish. What is the reason for being late? I mean, so late. Okay. Now, by contrast, people with low self-awareness interpret the message. So, if I am not having self-awareness, ample amount of self-awareness, in that case, I will take the constructive criticism as a threat or sign of failure. Rather than improving myself, for the constructive criticism I've got, I will take it as a threat or I will take it as a sign of failure. Fine? So you can self-aware people can also be recognized by their self-confidence. They have a firm grasp of their capabilities and are less likely to set themselves up to fail by. For example, overstretching on assignments. They know too when to ask for help and the risks they take on the job are calculated. They won't ask for a challenge that they know they can't handle alone. They will play to their strengths. So those people who are self-aware, they will never ask for a challenge which they cannot complete on them by themselves. Okay, and the risk they are going to take on the job will be calculated. So they'll take calculated risk. They will never take up the challenge which they cannot, which they cannot win over by themselves all alone. Okay, and they will play to their strengths. Despite the value of having self aware people in the workplace, my research indicates that senior executives do not often give self awareness the credit it deserves when they look for potential leaders. Many executives mistake candor about feelings for wimpiness and fail to give due respect to employees who openly acknowledge their shortcomings. So some of the people, they don't welcome this, open attitude, blunt attitude, right? Such people are too readily dismissed as not tough enough to lead others. In fact, the opposite is true. In the first place, people generally admire and respect candor. Okay. Furthermore, leaders are constantly required to make judgment calls that require a candid assessment of capabilities, their own and those of others. Do we have the management expertise to acquire a competitor? Can we launch a new product within 6 months? People who assess themselves honestly, that is self aware people, are well suited to do the same for the organization they run. So see, those people who are self-aware, okay, they will never hide anything. They will only undertake projects which they can handle by themselves, okay, and they will never cheat you on any confront. Fine? Is it clear? Is this much clear to everyone? Now, the concept of self-regulation we are going to do in tomorrow's class. I hope whatever I have taught today, it's clear to you. If you have any questions or doubts based on whatever I have taught today, please do ask me now. Or if you have any other queries related to my subject, please ask me. And from tomorrow onwards, I'll just make sure that I start the class, 30 minutes beforehand so that there is no confusion. And I'm not being late because many people have joined the class but they left because they thought the teacher won't come today. Do you have any questions? Anyone out there? Do you have any queries of any kind? Joe, Anas, Mohammed, Deepak, and Fahad. Do you have any questions for me? Okay. So see you tomorrow at the same time. Okay. Please be there. Please be on time. I will also be on time. Okay. And do work on the assignments. Fine. And don't forget to fill the feedback form. If you have any queries or if you have any suggestions to make the classes better, then do fill that in the feedback form itself. Okay. Don't exempt from filling the feedback form. Fine. Yeah. Thank you so much. So new attendees, please be regular in classes. Otherwise, your grades will be affected. So it's a kind request that please be regular in class because attendance does counts when it comes to grades. Fine? Okay. So thank you so much. See you tomorrow at the same time. Yeah. Bye bye. Take care.